What's the basis, Malaz, of coming to this conclusion? These electoral bonds are meant for a political party to be in power in perpetuity, because the amount of money through these means, which quote unquote are legitimate, will empower that party through capital to influence everything. This is the most unconstitutional, undemocratic, unfair scheme that destroys the very basic structure of our constitution. Free and fair elections is the basic structure of our constitution. This scheme is neither free nor is it fair. It's not free because the industrialists cannot say no. It is not fair because in that process, the political party in power gets the maximum capital, and the capital it wants, not for elections, for other purposes. That's very dangerous. Incentivizing, and I'm come to the other main argument. Incentivizing, I won't take more than a few minutes, Malad. I don't want to trouble your lordships. Incentivizing the use of banking channels. Of course, you will get this legitimate money through banking channels. In fact, that's the perfectly rational way of enriching yourself. Perfectly rational way. But that's not a justification for empowering yourself. I can understand if there was a correlation between this and the election process, in which you must disclose how much you have spent, where you have spent. But that cannot be, because it is the candidate who is fighting the election, not the political party. As far as persecuting the person who has been given the money by that party to an opposite party, they will be persecuted. Well, why will they be persecuted? Well, let me tell your lordships, just to tell your lordships what the reality is. A big industrialist who has enormous power will give it to all political parties. And the party of the center will never hold it against that industrialist. Because everybody's benefited. The system enjoys this money. Enormous capital to the party that is in the center, and small little donations to the others. And everybody knows about it. It's not a secret. So there'll be no retributions that why did you give it to that party? Because you've also got the maximum. Why should there be a retribution? So this whole argument that no, there'll be a retribution, why have you given to that party? Supposing, Manoj, I have got 100 crores. I get 100 crores, but the donation shows that he has given 500 crores. I'll know that 100 crores come to me, 400 crores have gone somewhere else. And if, Manoj, for the 100 crores, the quid pro quo is 4, 5, 6 instances, Manoj, then out of 400 crores, why should the retribution be more than just 4, 5, 6 instances? The same logic will apply. Same logic will apply. So why are you protecting those, Manoj? And the most serious part, Manoj, which I said earlier, that I will never be able to go to a court of law. What you're doing is giving a protection to corrupt transactions by not putting that information in the public domain, because I will never know. So, Manoj, how do I move forward? Where do I go? I can't file an FIR because I don't know. I'll be subject to defamation. I can't go to court. I have under 156(3), I'll have to go to, I'll have to give some data. I don't have the data. So what court order are we talking about? don't shield the process of corruption itself by allowing this to go on. If you want to deal with corruption, the first thing to do is to quash this scheme. This is the surest way for political perpetuity. Having said that, just 5 more minutes. Then, brothers, the respondents argue that EBS is a matter of financial economic policy. It certainly is not. It deals with elections, nothing to do with financial policy. In fact, the EBS and amendments on which it is based changes the very ground rules of the electoral process. The very ground rules, which negates any presumption of constitutionality and on the contrary requires heightened judicial scrutiny. That's the answer to that question of financial and economic policy. Economic policy is the bearer bonds issue because that way you can bring black money into the economic system and pay tax on it. This has nothing to do with it. 2, he said, they argue that making the identity of donors is an extension of secret ballot. The right to vote and donating of funds are distinct. The right to vote is secret ballot. Donation of funds cannot ever be secret. 3, he says, there is no uneven playing field. I will demonstrate it to yourself. The entire field is uneven. 4, they say the respondent has distinguished ADR and PUCL on the ground that the information sought for in those cases already existed and just needed to be disclosed. In this case, the only reason the information about the identity of donors is unknown in the present case is the structural design of the system. You have structured the scheme in such a way that it's unknown. So, brothers, I really don't want to say anything more. All I can say is, brothers, and brothers, what is the public interest that is being served here? I don't understand what the public interest is. Public interest not to know, not to disclose. And who are you protecting? For what purpose are you protecting these people? You are actually protecting yourself because you know who has donated. It is self-protection, self-preservation, self-perpetuity. How can the public interest in protecting the identity of donors outweigh the public interest in the public's right to know? To be free from corruption. So politics, brothers, as I said, it's impossible for us to get rid of free money, black money, brothers. No country in the world has got rid of it. Let's be clear on it. All your lordships can do is to tell the government, this is not the way forward. You want to deal with it in a way that is transparent, that gives us the confidence that it is not for you, it is for the larger public interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sibbal.
Amalas also, I would say, I filed rejoinder submissions already to his submissions, brothers. A court master may just upload them. All that I have said to your lordships is dealt with that in about 12 pages. I'll give you a copy because I didn't want to take too much time to read them. There are others also. I'm deeply impressed.